thing he does in Texas is take a shit.
Listen, when you gotta go, and I have to go constantly.
So we are in Austin, Texas. It is Friday, January 28th. We're here for the meetup game. Wait, what's it called? The Monster Meetup
something
game?
like that, yeah.
Some shit like that. We're gonna be playing the 500K guaranteed Monster Mash tournament.
I'm not sure if we're gonna play it today. I think today and tomorrow are the last 2 days for the day one. Today we'll mix it up in the cash games.
What stakes are you playing? I'm probably gonna be playing the 1-2. It's the 1 to 300 buy-in, I think.
Yeah, I'll probably start off with that, and then once I get comfortable, I'll move up maybe to the 1-3 because that's match the stack. Stakes in Texas are a lot bigger than stakes anywhere else. Apparently they play like 1.5 times as big, so the 1-2 will probably play similar to a 2-5. And there's a lot of donkeys, so there's that.
If you're one of those donkeys and you're just watching this,
thank you for paying for my trip.
And we'll see you guys at the lodge, I guess.
See you at the lodge.
This is a fry test of Whataburger.
Fries are alright. They're okay. They're just fries. No diced onions.
Yeah.
Fuck the diced onions.
This is how it looks. It looks hella. It looks like Tommy's.
You know, I got no diced onions, but there are diced onions.
That sucks.
There's no pickles in here either, bro. Alright, well they fucked me.
They sound like bubble bass. No pickles. It's honestly so mid. It is so mid. It tastes like the Tommy's from the fucking mall. It's not bad. It is nowhere near In-N-Out though.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
How dare you hype this shit up?
Yeah, this is nowhere close to In-N-Out.
It's like hyping up McDonald's.
It's better than McDonald's.
No.
You don't think so?
No. I fucking love McDonald's though.
That's bold. All right, everybody, my first hand in Texas. Limps to me. I'm in the big blind with Pocket Kings. What a beautiful sight to see. I raised to 25 over these scumbag limpers in Texas. Cutoff calls, and the flop comes Jack 7-3 2 clubs. I bet $35, sizing up just a little bit to charge the flush draw, and he calls. Turns an ace, and even though it is an ace, don't see how many aces are going to continue on the flop unless it's ace X of clubs, but that's a very specific holding, so I'm not too scared of it. I bet $55 and he shoves, and I only started the hand with about $250, so I only have $100, and he could be doing this with a flush draw, and like I said, it's one of my first hands I get involved in Texas, so I just make the call. If he has the ace, he has the ace, and he turns over ace 6 of clubs, so pretty much drawing to one out. And we don't improve and get stacked. So, what a nice start. Hopefully things turn around.
All right, guys, we got our first hand here in Texas. Queen Jack offsuit under the gun. We make a pretty light open to $10. The button and the big blind decide to make the call. We are headed 3 ways to a flop, and the flop is delicious. 8, 9, 10 rainbow. We flop the absolute nuts. We're starting off Texas with a bang. Big blind checks. I bet $15, and both of them fold. So that's nice.
Nice first hand.
Second hand, we pick up the under the gun limps. We look down at King 9 of diamonds under the gun +1. I raise this up to $15. The cutoff calls, the button calls, the small blind calls, and the limper calls. Yup, all of them call. This is Texas. This is what I was expecting. Huge multi-way pots. We love to see it. Flop comes out a nice King 3-4 rainbow. Checks to me. I see bet $50, and it gets through. Everyone folds. So we take down our second pot.
All right, so we add on for another 300. We once again whittle down to about $250, and in this hand, it's a limp pot. So I have ace 9 offsuit in the big blind, and I don't really want to raise against all these limpers because I don't really want to blow up the pot, especially since nobody's going to fold to a raise anyway here in this big ass state. So we just check. The flop comes ace 9 3 2 diamonds. I bet $10, and guess what? There are 4 callers. So hoping for no diamond on the turn. And that's what we get with the offsuit 7 on the turn. I bet $45 and +1 shoves. And considering this is a small Asian woman, I assume she doesn't have it because most of the time she won't. So I snap her off. She shows ace 3 offsuit. The river does not come a 3, so we fully double through this Asian woman. And things are looking like they are gonna turn around. So what's better than getting pocket kings is getting pocket kings again. We got it again. I raised to 25 and the same Asian girl as last hand shoves for her remaining $75. I snap it off. Right now it's Jack high. She shows Jack 10 offsuit and we scoop her once again. Let's get it. She switches tables after this, sadly, so that's enough of her.
All right, guys, for this one, we pick up King 10 of spades in the small blind. Middle position opens up to a pretty big sizing, $17. I call in the small blind. When it folds to me, the big blind also makes the call. The flop comes King, Queen, Deuce with a spade and a club. I check, big blind checks, and the middle position opener rips it all in for $81. Pretty strange spot holding top pair here and a backdoor flush draw. I don't really think he'd be doing this with a set of kings, a set of queens, king, queen, or aces. Just doesn't make sense because he won't really get too much value from doing that. So I actually stick in the call after a while, and then the big blind folds. So we're off to a run out, and we see that we are up against ace jack of clubs. So we made the right decision. He has a gutter and an over. We are in the lead. The turn is a 9 of spades, giving us even more equity. We turn the flush draw, and then the river guts our soul. It's an ace, killing our dreams. The donkeys win this one, guys. All right, after that annoying King 10 of spades hands that we lose, unfortunately, I look down at pocket jacks under the gun. We open it to $10. Middle position decides to 3-bet us to $30, and he has a short stack with only $50 behind. The cutoff calls, gets back around to me. I'm not trying to play jacks 3 ways out of position, so we're going to 4-bet this one for $140. The short stack calls pretty quickly, and the cutoff gets out of the way, so we accomplish what we wanted to. We are off to a run out. We are up against ace queen offsuit, and the board comes out king high, so jiggities are going to take this one down. Thank you, Brad Owen.
So in this hand, we got ace 9 of clubs in the big blind. The button opens to 20. I just call. You know, I'm getting good odds in the big blind with a suited ace, so hopefully we can flop a flush. And the flop comes pretty good. Ace, king 3 with 2 clubs. So we got top pair with the nut flush draw, so just a monster flop for us. The button bets $25, and I just make the call. I don't see any point in raising. I have showdown value with the ace, and I'm drawing to the nuts, so I just make the call. So the turn is a 10 of diamonds. I check, and the button bets $55. Now I think it's time to put some pressure and even get some value. And if a club comes on the river, it's going to kill my action with all his strong hands. So ace king with his 2 pair, or kings or aces at the very top of his range. So I shove, he snap call, so that kind of sucks. And he flips over pocket aces immediately. So we need a club very badly. And the river comes... no club for us, and he scoops with a set of aces. It's really sucked because I thought I was in great shape, and turns out we were drawing pretty slim to just the flush draw. Just running to his top of his range and just sucks, but that was unfortunate. Didn't hit the club, and we just gotta move on from that one. Alright, so after missing that flush draw, we got another suited ace in the small blind this time. It actually folds to the small blind, and since it's a timed game, there's no chops, so I raise it to $20, and the big blind makes the call. It heads up to the flop, which comes king, queen, 4, 2 spades, once again flopping the nut flush draw. And with all my equity with the nut flush draw, I decide to check out of position, and the big blind bets pot, $40. With the nut flush draw, can't really do anything but make the call, which I do. And the turn comes another king. So with this board pairing king, I'm not too worried about strong hands, such as kings, queens, king, queen, obviously like aces. So he could have just a single king here, and when I check it over to him, he bets $40 with a down bet. Not really sure what I should have done here, to be quite honest, facing this small bet. Maybe I should have raised here, but as played, I just make the call, trying to realize all my equity once again. And that equity comes with the 8 of spades on the river. And with this card, I decide to do a blocker bet of 125. Any hand that he was betting previous streets that's not absolutely nutted right now would be scared of the flush, so I decide for this blocker bet. And the worst thing happens here when the big blind jams for $375. And I'm just put in the worst spot pretty much all night. I start tanking for so long. I'm just thinking out loud, saying maybe he has pocket fours, pocket queens, or maybe he could just play a single king like this or a lower flush. And what really came into my head was the last hand where I couldn't hit my flush, and I finally hit it now. And after this night not going too well, I decided to put in the call, and he turns over pocket kings for quads. I was straight up dead on the turn with a slow played monster pre-flop, and it was just absolutely devastating.
Fish, bro. Oh my god, listen to that.
I talked to Andrew Neeme himself about this hand like 10 minutes later when I was steaming. He pretty much said that it was a fold, probably like an easy fold. I don't know.
Fish, bro.
Pretty much he called me a fish, which I am. Thinking about it, I probably should have just folded, but I'm not good enough, and I'm not good enough, and I don't run that well where I don't make that many value hands, so had to put in the call. It was obviously wrong, and that sucked a lot.
All right, guys, this hand's a doozy. I'm gonna need some guidance, possibly some advice on what I was supposed to do here, so stay tuned for this one. There are two limps to me. I look down at 8-6 of diamonds in the low jack. I open it up to $15, the cutoff, and the two limpers decide to make the call. Flop isn't too bad. It comes out king of diamonds, 7 of clubs, 9 of clubs. First limper leads for $20. Second limper calls. I call with an open ender, hoping to improve my hand with some nice implied odds. The cutoff also makes the call. Turn comes off the 3 of diamonds, giving us even more equity, so now we are open-ended with a flush draw. The original limper leads again for $80 now. The second limper goes all in for less, about $30 or $35. At this point, I wasn't really sure if I should raise or just make the call with one person behind me. I, in the moment, only make the call for the 80, but I think I could have raised here to give myself a better chance to win this hand, given that most of the time when people are leading into the aggressor on a board that does not favor them, it is weakness. So as played though, we just make the call, possibly a mistake, let me know. The river bricks off as a deuce of hearts, so we brick all of our draws. It's really shitty, but the original limper actually decides to check to me. When he checks to me, there's a side pot of about $140 and he only has $200 left behind. I don't think I'm ever gonna win this with 8 high. I decided to make a over pot sized shove for his remaining 200 to put all his weak kings in a bad spot, maybe his missed club draws, and I just think betting here is the best option for me. I'm not gonna win ever if I don't bet here. We pull the trigger, he tanks for eternity it feels like, and decides to make the call. So we sheepishly show 8 high. It's depressing. He shows king 10 of clubs, so we did target the right hand. We just couldn't get him to fold. I'm not sure if I'm upset with this play. It sucks to lose this big one, especially after such a rocky start up and down this session. Now we are stacked pretty much. We have to add on. Let me know what you guys think about this hand. All right, so after not getting paid on any of our premiums and losing that big one, we pick up king jack off in the hijack. Under the gun opens to $15. Our buddy Joe, who's a new subscriber, thank you, Joe. Nice to meet you, buddy. Under the gun 1 calls, and I just call, which I don't think is great, given that this guy is opened in the under the gun position. So I'm putting him on a pretty tight range, but I'm tilted, so I want to play any Broadway cards I see. Small blind calls. We're headed 4 ways to a flop. The flop comes out jack 8-3 with 2 spades, so of course we flop top pair in a very uncomfortable position. The small blind checks. Under the gun C bets $35. Under the gun 1 folds. I don't feel great about it, but fuck it, we didn't call king jack offsuit to fold when we hit top pair. He could have some draws here. Ace king, C betting, not sure, but we're gonna have to make this call here. And the small blind actually makes the call as well. Turn is a deuce of clubs. Small blind checks again, and the under the gun now bets $110. This is the exact reason why I shouldn't have called pre-flop with king jack offsuit from a under the gun open. Should have just folded it, mucked it, but I'm on tilt. This is what got me in this position. Probably costed me an extra $50, so not feeling great about it. I tank for a while. I decide to fold. Small blind folds, and we tell Joe that we laid down a pretty big one for him, and he shows us queens to the camera. So nice guy, nice to meet you, good playing with you, and nice hand. For this hand, we look down at 7-6 of hearts in the small blind, middle position limps. I decide to limp my action in the small blind, again not playing optimally because of how we've ran, and the big blind decides to raise this up to $15. We both make the call. No one's folding here. Flop comes. Flop is 8 of hearts, 5 of hearts, 3 of diamonds. We flop an open-ended straight flush draw. I'm feeling fantastic about myself. I'm hoping I finally hit my draw today so we can make some money back. I check to the aggressor. The big blind bets $30. Middle position calls, and I just call. Again, I think I should have raised here. This flop smashes my range much more than the big blind and the middle position guy. Don't know why I didn't raise. I think that would have been the better option and the better route to win this hand, but we do not. We just make the call. Turn is a 5, still brick city. I check. The big blind now bets $60. Middle position folds, and again here I have no choice to call because this guy only has $70 behind, and I have almost no fold equity, whatever holding he has. Playing this hand pretty bad. Forced to call now, which I do. River is a brick, deuce of diamonds. I want to cry inside. We cannot make a hand this entire session. I check. He actually checks it back, and he shows us ace-10 of hearts. So we were in pretty bad shape, because if any heart besides a heart giving us the straight flush came out, we would have got stacked. He takes this one down with ace-high. Horrible day for poker. Pretty upset about it, but hopefully we'll bounce back soon.
So many hours have passed, and we are down hundreds of dollars. We're getting absolutely rinsed here in Texas, running bad, probably not playing the best. Probably, honestly, I can't explain why this downswing is continuing. If I did have an answer, I'd get out of it immediately because it is not fun at all. Here we go with this last hand. I got ace-king offsuit in the hijack. I opened to $25 over some more bitch-ass limps and get 3 callers. The flop is king, queen, 3 with 2 hearts. It checks to me. I bet $50. Pretty standard. And guess what? The button calls and middle position just jams $400 right in my face, which covers me. So I tank, and I pretty much come to my senses that he's not doing this with a flush draw, because I mean, I guess he could, but that's pretty optimistic to think about. And the only thing he's going to show me once I call is pocket queens or a slow played ace queen or pocket 3s, all which I don't want to see. So I tank and make the fold, and he shows king queen offsuit. So that's how this Texas trip went for cash. It was absolutely awful. Got put in a bunch of tough spots. Honestly, never really had any hands for value, and when I did, I got murdered by quads by an old man. Never gonna come back to this city. They have really bad burgers, and yeah, that's about it for me.
That's about all, really. It's really bad first day for us.
Terrible.
Trying to regroup, maybe study up a little bit tonight. Gonna for sure fire in the tournament tomorrow. That'll be a nice change of scenery. Just cash games has not been going well for us. I mean, you guys have been here with us since, what, this last month or two, and I think we're both on a downswing, so.
So that were terrible.
Or we're shit, yeah.
Either one.
It's either downswing or we're shit.
It's a combination of both. So in total today, I lost 972, which is insane.
I lost 740 today. Or, yeah, 740.
But yeah, Texas day one, not too well. Hopefully.
Rude awakening for the boys, but we'll probably get another cash game. Fuck you.
And as always, be sure to subscribe for future vlogs, and give us a like. It really helps us out.
Yeah, and comment, talk shit, honestly.
Yeah.
Tell us how bad we are, say what we did right, say what we did good. We don't mind, honestly. Haters, lovers, who cares?
Yeah.
We'll see you.
Alright, see you next one. Hopefully it's a tournament cash for both of us.